Hi, everyone. This is Lanang here from Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. How are you all today? I hope you have fabulous day wherever you are in the world. And today I'm coming back live with the series Interview Success Business Owners. And today I'm very excited to have Zara with me. He's very successful in our communities, and lately he just hit a huge milestone, and we from the same group sharing knowledge to newbie. So we have a mastermind, and we are coming from the same group, and I'm so honored to have him with me today. So hi, Zara, and how are you today?
I'm doing great. You're. I think you're pronouncing my name the other way around. So it's
Oh,
Raza.
oh, sorry.
That's
So
okay.
Raza.
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like
Oh,
I do
maybe I'm
like.
having problem with my R then.
There you go. There you go. It's okay. My daughter and I, whenever we play a game, my alter ego is Azar, so it's my name the other way around.
Yeah.
So, nevertheless, Len, it's so great to be here. Thank you so much for having me, and good to talk to a fellow Ontarian.
Yeah. Thank you for spending the time with me on my page, and I my team just I want to take this opportunity to say thank you because with the first newbie mastermind, and my team member love your show. It's full of energies, and yeah, so thank you so much for the positive energy every time you go live in the group. It's really
It's a
inspiring.
lot of fun. The our digital entrepreneur community has given. I know it's given us so much, and it's just our way to take our experience and spread it around to all the new digital entrepreneurs around the world. So it's really exciting to be on the same journey with you.
Yes. So you live in Toronto. I live in Peterborough. It's only 1 hour.
That's
So
right.
I hope to meet you one day. Even though
Absolutely.
we're so close, but we still meet online.
Yeah, no, I'm so looking forward to it. I mean, we're just gonna wait for things to ease up a little bit, and winter or summer, it doesn't matter. We'll definitely drive down, and I'm sure Peterborough has. Actually, one of my mentors from years ago, he actually lives in Peterborough.
Oh, really?
And he's invested a lot in real estate properties over there and everything. So I'm definitely going to make a round to Peterborough and catch up with you and my mentor as well. I haven't seen him in a while.
Wow, yeah. Congratulations on your milestone you just hit.
Yay!
And
Thank
in
you.
very short amount of time as well.
Well, I've had a lot of help. I've had a lot of guidance. I've had a lot of there's a blueprint that we can all follow, and that's what I say. It was a I call I don't know if I want to call it a secret, but it's not so much of a secret. But a lot of people don't seem to use it. And years ago, I think it was taught to me through books and a mentor that I met, and he said to me, he said, Raza, whatever it is that you want to accomplish out there, somebody out there has already done it, and all you got to do is just find those people and adopt the same beliefs, same mindset, and execute their blueprint. Don't think about it much, just execute it. And that was an advice that I got over the past 10 years that has done wonders for me. And it was the same advice that I applied over here and that I continue to apply over here. And by no means, Lan, I'm not done learning. I'm still learning every single day, right? So
Yeah.
I'm still growing here. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's it makes our job a little simpler if we have a blueprint to follow. We can stop thinking and start executing, and that's what it's all
Yeah.
about.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I used to I used to be a teacher back in Vietnam, and and I and my husband own our own school. So being a solo entrepreneur and you don't have a community, you don't have like a blueprint success lay out for you, and then you have to like working on your own. It's really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, been there, done that, not doing it anymore. Not doing it anymore. You know, my life
Yeah.
is so simpler now. Because Len, think about it. I mean, you know, my wife and I were real estate investors as well, and we tried to do real estate in our own way and tried to figure things out, and we made a ton of mistakes. And when I found this advice of following a blueprint, I mean, it impacts everything. You know, it impacts our real estate business. It impacts our digital business. It impacts my relationship, right? Like, I mean, you know, I have role models in relationship that I follow, how to be a better husband and better dad, and all of that stuff. I don't want to figure things out. There is already people who've done the hard work to figure it out. I just want to adopt their learning and grow from there. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Every time I am on my coaching call, I often tell people that this is not any other system out there. This is proven. This is the worst you have to say. Like it's proven with thousand people. Like it's successful on like thousand of people. So you can't compare if you go out there, reinvent the wheel, have your own system. It's challenging. So we gotta appreciate the system that we have now.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. I think everything, and it's so similar what I mentioned on my calls as well. It's the same thing that, you know, that the model is already proven. We don't need to prove it. Like, you know, the only X factor here is you, the individual, right? And how efficiently you are going to execute this blueprint, how quickly you're going to go through it, how much time you're going to take. It's all up to you. The rest of it, you got examples of people with no experience, people with experience, people with no successes in other ventures, and they're succeeding over here. So it's really, you know, can you have success at anything that you choose? Yes, you can. Are you choosing this? Right? So that's really the question. Are you choosing? Are you going to dedicate your time, energy, money in making sure that this works for you? And that's what
Yeah,
it's really all about.
yeah, absolutely. So before this business, what did you do? Are you full time
I
in this business?
Yeah, I had worked hard over the past 2 years prior to 2020 to establish an awesome career for myself. I loved it. I miss it terribly. And that is, I was mentored. I was guided into becoming a professional speaker. Somebody asked me the other day, "Is like, Raza, what does a professional speaker do?" I said, "We speak." And we get paid for it. You know, so I basically got hired by organizations and companies to represent their brands and their ideas and their high ticket offers on stages around North America, Europe, Africa, and these places. I never got to go to Vietnam. You know, my
Yep.
colleagues have gotten to Vietnam, but I didn't go to
Yeah.
Vietnam. But that was a career. I mean, you know, it kept me moving. It kept me in the planes every week. I would be in a different country, different city, you know, different hotel. It was really good. It played on my strengths, and I established it. I was in California in March 2020, and that's when the whole shutdown happened. And because my work was dependent on travel and events, well, everything came to a halt. And so that's where I started looking to do something new.
Wow, wow. Do you think that's because of your previous career? It made so easy for you in this online business?
Um, Easy? No, no.
No.
I seriously, I don't necessarily believe there's anything easy in the world. That's why when people are looking for easy, I really discourage them from looking for easy. I think looking for simplicity in what you're going to do is key, but there's really nothing easy in the world out there, whether it's relationships, whether it's raising kids, whether it's making money, whether it's going to a job, whether it is establishing a business. I don't care what it is. I don't agree with the easy part. I don't even look for easy. So whenever somebody says to me, it's like, oh, this is going to be tough. Well, that's fine. Everything is tough, right? I mean, if I'm getting into fitness and following a meal plan, that is tough, right? As well. So no, there are a couple of things that make it relatively simpler for me to do this. It's because I try not to think a lot,
Wow.
right?
Wow. Yes.
Because I think we are trained from schools and from our parents and all of that stuff to become an individual,
Yeah.
right? Because even in schools these days, I mean, I personally have an issue with the school system. I mean, it's not really designed to keep up with the times right now. It's an archaic system right now, and we don't necessarily encourage not independent thinking, collaborative thinking, right? The world out there is all about collaboration. Whether you, as soon as you get into the workforce, it's about learning from people, it's about brainstorming, it's about looking at books and getting guidance from there and all of that stuff. But in a school, I mean, you need to memorize stuff. And, if you're referring to books and other sources, that's maybe referred to as cheating and all of that stuff. When you're collaborating with others and trying to find the answer, that doesn't work in school. So what makes this simpler for me is what I mentioned earlier. When I find somebody, and Len, actually, if you look at anybody's success profile in this team, in this community, you will find the same thing. And that is, when you find somebody who has a blueprint and you're doing something new, instead of thinking about the blueprint, instead of thinking about what your coach or your mentor is telling you, you get busy in doing it. You learn as you go. You don't learn and then do. No, you learn while you are doing. There's a huge difference. People feel that they have to learn everything before they do.
Yes. I got so caught up in so many people. They say, lay out everything for me. Then I know
It doesn't
everything
work.
in beforehand, then I do it. No, you're not gonna learn that
Because
way.
you will not know, and Len, here's the thing. I mean, you can take an example of something that you learned, and anybody who's watching this can do that as well. That when you go into a new career, or when you do something new, you don't know everything about it. As you go take a step towards it, then all of a sudden new things show up. A new door opens up that you didn't know was there before, because you had to learn certain things for you to recognize that door. But if you're trying to sit at the back and just trying to say, it's like, I want to see the whole thing before I do anything, well, quite frankly, you're going to get left behind, because the world is moving really fast. And for you to adopt that thing, you got to have some base understanding. I think I did a Facebook Live in our bigger group where we have 100,000 people, and I said, how do you go about evaluating whether this is for you? And I say, you got to have 3 to 5 things that you look for, and once those 3 to 5 things meet up, then you go all in. You go all in, because you're gonna, believe me, there are still things that I learn about this business. There are things that I learned from you, Len. There are things that others learn from me. And we could not have known all that stuff had we just sat back and just says, like, show me everything. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah. So it's still challenging for you. What is the challenge for you?
What is a challenge for me? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
A lot.
Um,
I don't think so, because success seems so easy to you.
no, my gosh. See, that's the thing, Len. I mean, sometimes we might accidentally make it look easy. It's not. See, here's the thing. I mean, you take any of these books, right? Like any of these books. And personally, I have never met an author, and I have never met a person who has not gone through setbacks and challenges. I'll tell you, I mean, learning this business, I had never done anything online before. I had never run ads before. I had never used social media for business purposes, right? To build a network and all of that stuff like that. So all those things I had to learn. And the when you ask me about a challenge, right, everything is challenging, right? Like everything, because otherwise I
Wow.
would not be where I am right now had it not been challenging. How to manage different time zones is a freaking challenge to me. How to manage, continuously put systems in place to keep my social media up and running, continue to build a network of people that I like to connect with, tweak my ads, learn about advertising and constantly be learning. I've been in the business for about 17, 18 months. I'm still learning, right? I'm still learning. When my ad stops all of a sudden I find a great ad, I'm getting leads from all over the place and everything. And all of a sudden it stops. And I'm like, oh man, now what?
Oh,
Right? Like, right. So you constantly have to keep moving, because I'll tell you something, my biggest challenge can be complacency. As soon as everything starts working, I can get complacent. And to me, something has to change, something has to trigger in my environment to kind of get back in there again,
oh, yeah.
right? So I know my weaknesses, and I think I would recommend that to anybody who is a digital entrepreneur and who's looking to get into this thing, is first of all self-awareness of how you function, right? Like, how do you think, how do you not think, what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and all that stuff. I think it's very important to have those as inventory. I know my weaknesses and I am very much in tune with them. And I do not work on strengthening my weaknesses. I
Yeah.
don't, right? And
Yeah.
and this is something, because a lot of people work on making their weaknesses strong.
Yes.
That
Yes.
doesn't
Yes.
work.
Totally agree. Yes.
Because if you spend the same amount of money in making your strengths stronger, you're going to see a better return on your time and your investment than trying to work on your weaknesses. And so, how do you solve weaknesses? Well, you put systems and people in place. And that's the beautiful thing about this community. I mean, I've got, between my mentors and coaches and me, I know how to make sure the team is supported with the resources that I can't provide them, right? And that's why it makes it a beautiful thing to be in this community.
Wow. So I know that so many things because at this level you must love so many things about the business. Can you name one thing you love most?
I still love the automation, you
Wow.
know, and I'll tell you, lad. I mean, I think that's the thing that I fell in love with.
Mm.
Len, just like a lot of people, I'm a busy guy too, right? I didn't get into this business to give myself another job to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Right?
food
Like, I didn't get into
quality
this.
food on plate.
Yeah. And we do say, even on our coaching calls, when people get on the phone and they're evaluating this thing, we tell them, I'm like, listen, like, if you can spend 10 to 12 hours per week, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
At least for the beginning and all of that stuff like that, you'd be fine. And so to me, when I'm spending time with my wife and my daughter, when I am working on my own fitness, when I am connected with the causes and I'm helping causes that I want, when I'm connecting with beautiful people like you and sharing knowledge and learning from you and generating leads while I'm on the phone with
Wow.
you, right?
Congratulations.
Right. So that's the beautiful thing about it, that it doesn't require me to be present, to share the business, demo my products, talk about my offers, educate on how the money is made, because systems are in place doing that for me. So if somebody goes through the system and they are interested, and then I can get on the phone with them and help them get started the best way possible. To me, that's what I fell in love with, and I am still in love with, because it still excites me every single time I see these kind of notifications. I'm like, Yeah, I mean, I'm having fun having a conversation while somebody's looking at the business, right?
Yeah,
And the products and
absolutely.
services. So yeah.
Wow, yes. You so 17 months in the business. Can you tell a couple of things that the business had changed your life and your lifestyle?
Um, well, I think my social media life is a lot more exciting now.
Oh, before
I
you really quiet on social media.
I was on social media. I was on social media. It's not like I didn't have the platforms. Always enjoyed connecting with people who
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know. I've always enjoyed learning from people I don't know. I've always enjoyed contributing to their life. There are things that I've been able to do in my life, and if I can inspire and make somebody's day better, I'd love to do that, right? Like, so that was social media for me, right? I
Yeah.
don't I don't keep up with family on social media. Family has my phone number and WhatsApp, and they can text me and all of that stuff. I kicked all of my family off of social media, right? So I'm not
Wow.
interested. I told them, I'm like, listen, I'm using my social media for business purposes and stuff like that. I don't need you there. So just don't be offended. I'm unfriending you,
Awesome.
right? So I took all of them out. So
Oh.
I'm still going through the list. I'm still slowly taking people out because I mean, I'm a professional, and in a digital space, I want to be professional as well. People can learn a lot about me. So when you say what has changed about me, I love that I can contribute to people that I don't even know. That's number one. Number two, I love that I connect with people and I meet some amazing people. Whether they choose to do business with me or not, that's not important. But I love connecting and learning about people and all of that stuff. The other thing is that I came in here to do this online business with a 3 to 5 year vision. I'm only 18 months into it. I can't freaking wait for me to get to 3 years because this business is not only a small income stream right now in our household, but my goal is to establish this to a point where there's it's continuing to what do I say? It builds momentum to. I want to build the momentum to a point that it just turns and something that I can pass on to my daughter as well, right?
Wow.
Right.
Wow,
So
professional speaker like you and can see the huge potential in this business. It
it
must be
is. It
big.
is. I mean, it's the internet, man. I mean, that's the thing, right? Like it's
Yeah.
online and 80-90% of the work is done for me. I mean, why would I not spend 3 to 5 years building something that has a potential of, oh my gosh. I mean, some of the people that have been here longer than you and I, like,
Yes.
oh my gosh. I'm like, sometimes I can't even say like the amount because it just sounds so ridiculous.
Yes.
But yeah, looking forward to it.
Yes. Yeah, so I think I'm almost hitting the benchmarks, 25 minutes, 30 minutes on. Normally, I interview people in that amount of times. And the last question, if you can give an advice
A
for
short answer.
any,
Yeah.
for my skeptical audience, what do you say?
Oh man, I had an answer for this one. I have an answer for this one. Can you give me a second?
Okay, absolutely.
Hang on. Hang on. I can still hear you. I can still talk to you. I need to grab a book.
uh,
Hold on a second, people.
Raza is a very famous coach in our communities, and we normally do mastermind, and every time he's on mastermind, he inspires so many people, and we are so blessed to have him in this community. That what the beauty about this. Communities, you get people from all walks of life and own background. Like a lot of people good at presentation, people good at like manage mindset and everything they share for free.
I'm back.
Yes.
So, to the dear skeptics, okay, I'm going to quote something from this book that I'm reading these days.
Wow.
It's called The Way of the Intelligent Rebel. Okay, and it talks about three vital principles for all intelligent rebels. I'm going to say three vital principles for all intelligent professionals, opportunity seekers, people who are looking to do something out of the ordinary. I refer to them as rebels. So, number one, principle number one, have healthy skepticism. It is okay to be a skeptical. It is okay to have that skepticism, but a healthy skepticism, because if you are too skeptic, you are probably going to miss out on a lot of things. And as you have this little bit of a skeptical, because we're all skeptical. I mean, when I looked at the webinar and I was looking at, of course, I had some level of skepticism. There's so many things out there that are out there that are promising, the next best things and sliced bread and all that stuff. But you've got to use some level of skepticism, and that's totally okay. So some level, okay? Number one, you're going to understand. Yeah. Principle number two, some methods are more effective than others. There are things that are more effective. One of the things that I've seen out there based on my travels all over North America and rubbing shoulders with some of the people on stages and all of that stuff, I've had the opportunity to meet a lot of professionals out there, people who want to do things out of the ordinary. Well, they want to do something online, but guess what happens? They all get stuck with the stuck in the weeds. They get stuck trying to build websites and writing emails and building webinars and doing presentations and all of that stuff. Understand that that may not be the route you want to take. As some methods are more effective than others. Effective, I didn't say good, effective. And if you are a busy professional, you already have a job, then you want to look for a system that is effective. Hint, hint. Yeah. Right. Yes. And here's the final thing that I want to add over here. I know we've gone over time over here.
Oh no. Please go ahead.
But this was something that but this was something that I came across, and we're talking about things that are effective. When we talk about making money, because ultimately that's why we do things. So in this book, the author, Oliver Rowland, says, so what process do most people follow for making money? That's a question, right? Well, being in salaried employment, that is what route most people take. But is there a better way of earning money than being an employee? That's a question that you need to ask yourself, because quite frankly, we don't know. Most of the time, we don't know another method. And he answers it definitely. Hundreds of better ways, thousands indeed. If you are an employee and you find earning money disheartening, you're on the right track. Because being an employee is the least effective way of earning money for two main reasons. Number one, you are exchanging your time for money with no leverage. That's number one, right? Yeah. Number two, is for an enterprise to be profitable, it must always pay its employees less than they actually bring in. This is pure mathematics, and it means that if you are an employee, you will never be paid according to your full potential.
Wow, so powerful.
So, you're skeptical? Well, if you're too skeptical, that will harm you. But having a healthy skepticism and understand that there are effective ways of doing things, effective ways of making money, that we live in a world that is moving fast. Then if you can accelerate your professional side of things and money-making side of things, then why not explore that? So that's what I would say.
Yeah, thank you so much for all your sharing and interesting knowledge.
No problem. Thank you so much for having me here.
Yeah. So, guys, here we go. The famous one in my community, and I hope you guys enjoy the information, the chat, and until next times, keep good night and have a good day wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.